that nobody else was pursuing groove. And you hear funk enter the room in the song. The spirit of funk enter the room. I was on with the late Tony Hall on Trinity campus in Boston um, when autumn came, right? Where the premonition of winter entered. 1 minute it was summer, and we could actually see a wind like up in the sky. Now this is a campus with a massive church where they used to burn witches and stuff. We had Trinidad and Tobago, Midnight Robbers, and Peregrinads, and David Rudder jumping up and consecrating our ground where witches were burnt. Either back in them Salem times and that kind of stuff, right there on the Trinity campus by this church. So we there with the traditional mass of Trinidad and Tobago. And all of us there, and we turned, and we could have seen this wind descend and then start to come across the campus through the town, and then come across the campus, and this wind, and then all of a sudden, it was winter, it was autumn, it was the season had changed. Well, what you just heard there was the season changing with Endless Vibration. The season changed. Soca entered the universe. Yeah, people say before it started into the experiments with Indrani and that kind of stuff, but Endless Vibration was where that experiment became cosmic. Now, again, 70s, we're paying tribute to Clive Zander, rest in peace, master, co-founder of Kaiso Jazz. We're looking at all the different experiments of that period running simultaneous that created the modern Trinbago song. Now, I believe soca has many different godfathers. Yes, I know Rashoti I, founder of SOKH, soca, East Indian music, African rhythms, Calypso bloodline. Yes. But there were other experiments that were happening at the same time and that kind of stuff that were also extremely, extremely, extremely important. Different fonts and sources of fusion. Here's another source of fusion. Just like Jesse Ryan before was using tambourine rhythm and that kind of stuff, this Calypsonian, people don't talk about it. But what this Calypsonian was doing was marrying Tobagonian, tambourine, and drum music, fiddle music, all those forms of music with the Trinidad and Tobago song. And so the bass line in this song is the Tobago fiddle, right? It's the exact same line of Tobago fiddle translated onto the bass, creating one of the greatest bass lines of the modern age and one of the greatest songs of Trinidad and Tobago's modern age and of the world's modern age. Let me listen to the song and come back and talk about this great. Run the track, Krabby.
Soca king, I can't make with the soca king. I call the mental hospital. Come quick to avoid a funeral. A man came in my house to beat me. He came in my house to bite me. I belong to the house of music. He's either crazy or real sick. But I don't want to sing that soca. But I don't want to sing that soca code. 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 I doing my own thing. Don't know why they molesting. I am musically sick. Mommy beat me with music stick. If I tackle the soca, the boat might turn over. And I don't want to sing that soca boat. Just don't want to sing that soca boat. I belong to the house of music. Be either crazy or well sick. I don't want to sing that soca boat. I don't want to sing that soca boat. I said I don't want to sing that soca boat. I don't want to sing that soca boat. You hear me?
Jack may he also rest in peace. All these grandmasters who have departed from us. We are celebrating the life of Clive Alexander, co-founder of Kaiso Jazz, and we're listening to all the experiments in the 1970s that created modern Trinbago sound at the same time that Clive is experimenting with Schofield Pilgrim and coming up with the syntax of this new language called Kaiso Jazz. So all these experiments going on at the same time. So while Shorty experimenting with East Indian music and forms, Shadow bringing the Tobagonian influence, mixing that with the calypso. Here is this artist mixing stuff with R&B and funk. I'm talking about the great, late maestro, Cecil Hughes.
New York City don't have money. Anywhere you walk, that's the talk in New York. Alien start to protest, but we zest without rest. Man hot, saying how that's so broke. Brooklyn say women would stay, but the men must go away. They say we West Indian. They say we ain't human. That's the way we make love. Love is all we think of. Same way. Lord, Tobago, especially in the winter. Temperature lower than ever. Yankee looking for shelter. West Indian heroes taking over. We taking over. Hot like pepper. Huh. Oh, oh. Yeah, oh, Hungarian, Australian, back up in the place. With me, they could chase. Big apple, having financial trouble. Let them say and say and say. I don't go nowhere. They say we West Indian. They say we ain't human. That's the way we make love. Love is all we think of. Same way. Lord, especially in the winter. Temperature lower than ever. Yankee looking for shelter. West Indian heroes taking over. We taking over. Licks like fire. Huh. Oh, oh. Yeah, oh, ah.
That's with the great maestro. Gone too soon. Experimenting his experiments, the sophistication of his experiments and his songwriting and arrangements and those kinds of things. Again, this is the golden age of the brass bands in Trinidad and Tobago. Edwards and the Brass Circle. Ronnie McIntosh's father, Artie Koto, inside that studio, Shark Studios. You know, I mean, hey, this is, you know, I mean, of course, engineers, mixers like Eric Michaud, big up Eric Michaud, who that seminal, that kind of thing album by Alexander, engineered and mixed by Eric. All of those passed through that massive studio in the back of Celots there that produced so much of the great music of the 70s big band music of Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, in the States, working with some of the top disco, international record session musicians was this particular Calypsonian who's now mixing the stuff with disco, which is happening at ground zero in the States, and he is playing with the session musicians in the American studios and that kind of stuff. And his fusions creates a different kind of soca again, a different avenue. Listen to him and we come back and we talk about this.
I don't mind when they try to treat me unkind and take away what is mine. These are things I could put behind. But I demand respect from the countryman, who at least they should understand. In a way, I'm an alien, partisan, man, who believe me own people call me foreigner, foreigner, foreigner. bless their soul. Without a doubt, anything that you talking about, in my country from north or south, I could walk straight and point it out. So shut your mouth, man. Understand? You should shame to call me foreigner, foreigner. I was around when they now bring trolley in town and tram car running up and down, round the savannah, round and round. I was there when the preacher they call nose gay, beg them crucify him up there. His I will run to drag him away. So what you say, man? In my land, immigration stamp me foreigner, foreigner. Who was gonna know but a man born in Tobago, who's the big Jackson Bonito, does just stay so and jump ashore. And who again will know Subuya and dwell, and La Jabless walking like men, telling you go, come let we go. Mama yo, so I come, so I go. But don't ever call me foreigner, foreigner. Spread my culture where I go, but don't ever call me foreigner, foreigner.
But we're talking about the man Lord Nelson, who then takes the music in another direction again. And this next tune I'm playing, you heard all these different experiments and that kind of stuff. I believe this particular song kind of represents the epic coming together of all the forces that were in the music at the time. The studios, the big bands, the brass bands, the arrangements, the kotos and stuff, the pan arrangements that happened at the time, the underground experiments, all these different fusions of soca and stuff. I believe they all come together in this song. I think this is probably the greatest, probably produced and the greatest song of that particular era. It's arguable. People could say it might be Shadow, it might be this, it might be, people might have different ones that they might say it might be a old tanker song or whatever. But I believe this song is epic. Epic in its global scope, in its writing, in its poetry, in its arrangements, in everything. Its conception. I'm talking about Stay Up Zimbabwe by the man Valentino. Run the track, right?
South Africa. You're pushing my back against the wall. I'm calling the tribes of cannibal. I man decide to put on his boots and march to defend his roots. Say, calling them Juju, calling them Zulu, shouting Ashanti, calling what to see in South Africa and Rhodesia. Let go run like water. Prepare my brother for the bloody river. Just remember, brother, let the cut and water. Stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe. Fight won't be so easy, but you got to get rid of the enemy. If you don't get rid of the enemy shall get rid of thee. My people, you see, we have no choice, so Africans hear my voice. Say, calling them Zulu, calling them Juju, shouting Ashanti, calling what to see in South Africa and Rhodesia. Let go run like water. Prepare my brother for the bloody river. Just remember, brother, let me cut on water. Stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe. Talk that America supporting white South Africa, but if we have to walk voodoo, my people shouting you room, sound the drums and summon the witch doctors to deal with those weird characters. Hey, calling them Zulu, calling them Juju, shouting Ashanti, calling what to see in South Africa and Rhodesia. Let go run like water. Prepare my brother for the bloody river. Just remember, brother, blood thicker than water. Stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe, stay up Zimbabwe. To the freedom fighters I declare, Africans affair is my affair. Ian Smith and Buster got to go, the revolution says so. Hey, calling them Zulu, calling them Juju, shouting Ashanti, calling what to see in South Africa and Rhodesia. Let me run like water. Prepare my brother for the bloody river. Just Zimbabwe. Stay at Zimbabwe. Stay at Zimbabwe.
That is Stay Up Zimbabwe by Valentino, produced by the great artist Koto. Hey, Olia. So the songs that I played, a lot of those songs, those are 10 poles of the modern Trinbago sound. These are the things, as I said, this is where summer enters into the world. You know, this is us at the extreme ends of our excellence, you know, pushing the boundaries and that kind of stuff, experiments. Remember when these boys, these fellas, these are young boys doing these things, eh? These are the men getting musicians together and that kind of stuff, translating these new songs in the studio. And so we tip our hats to the foundation, and we tip our hats to Clyde Zander and those who did that work. And we have to tip our hats to those young guns in the present moment who pursuing those lines of experiment and who continuing the experiments and the pursuit of the lines of inquiry that were engaged in those times. So one such youth goes by the name of Jerry Anthony. Born, I think either born in Guyana, you know, he's Guyanese. Of Guyanese descent. So Jerry, but he's here in Trinidad, he's been here for the longest while. He's adopted Trinidadian. Jerry has been pursuing that with his band West Indian Rhythm Connection. Incredible album that they did. Well, not really recorded as an album, it's live music that was put together at a particular point in time. And where those experiments that you could hear the lineage of all those things that you just heard going retained and going further. And of course, you hear the David Rudder influence and all those things inside there too. So let's listen to the West Indian Rhythm Connection, Jerry Anthony and the boys there with Run Them.
jumbie, all kind of jumbie, all kind of jumbie. Look the Parliament jumbie, with the government jumbie, and corruption jumbie, because eruption jumbie, they only stealing jumbie, drug dealing jumbie, them jumbies getting out of hand, jumbie. They try to take over the land, jumbie. We had to run them out today, from the party, run them out today, from the fest, run them out today. Look at the dusty, run them out today, from blood and sweat and run them out today, from the village and run them out today, from the town, run them out today, from your house, run them out today. Look all around, it's all kind of jumbie, 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 all kind of jumbie. Woman hating jumbie, look at the raping jumbie, wife beating jumbie, I still a cheating jumbie, child molesting jumbie, incesting jumbie, what she coking jumbie, crack smoking jumbie, rum drinking jumbie, and they thinking jumbie, watch corruption jumbie, because eruption jumbie. Them jumbies getting out of hand, jumbie. They try to take over the land, jumbie. We had to run them out today, from the party, run them out today, from the fest, run them out today. Look at the dusty, run them out today, from blood and sweat and run them out today, from the village and run them out today, from the town, run them out today, from your house, run them out today. Look all around, it all kind of jumbie.
West Indian Rhythm Connection, Jerry Anthony, apprenticing with the line of music that you heard before. And that's one of the reasons that, at a moment like this, the passing of a foundation pillar, a cornerstone, like Clive Zander, it's time for us to kind of take stock, meditate, go back into ourselves, and to take the wind, to see where's true north and which direction we're going in, and to matriculate again in the genius of those that went before, to feed us in our quest to go forward. And you hear that kind of exploration in the work of Jerry Anthony and the West Indian Rhythm Connection. Of course, this next artist was and is the one who held the line, who all those experiments found a home in at a kind of dark time in the music where all kind of weirdness was going on and that kind of stuff, and who kind of built new kinds of cathedrals of excellence out of the tradition at a kind of critical time, and held the line and was an inspiration for a whole generation of us that came next, who heard the clues of where to go in Tanka and Shadow and and others and that kind of stuff. But when we heard David, and later when we heard Resistance, we knew the exact way forward. And talking about David Rudder. And I wanted to play a song that's not normally played. David, as always, asked David to, play songs that, everybody calling for. I want to hear Calypso every time I hear him as well. But, play, the normal songs and that kind of stuff and thing. But I want to hear some of these songs in the back catalog and stuff, which I find are incredible explorations and experiments and that kind of stuff. Here's David again, because the thing is about, as people also experiment with rhythm, melody, and all those different kinds of things, they also experiment with mood, you know, and the ability of the music to say and take us into all the different dimensions of being, the 360 degrees of humanity. And this is David taking us there, a different place, with this incredible song of love, longing, sex, sensuality.
You're my fire queen, flaming lady, can't you see? You're my burning dream, flambeau woman. Start your candle, baby. Sister of the sun, can I feed me of your fire food? Sister of the sun, tell me that this love is good, this love is good, yes. I need your glowing fire to breathe, to thaw out my ice and stone. I need your gaming flame to feed me, because I'm so cold and all alone, yeah. Let me melt into your madness. Ain't no joke, this smoke I smell. Let me burn into your gladness. Diablo, keep his head. You're my fire queen, flaming lady, can't you see? You're my burning dream, flambeau woman. Start your cambole, start your cambole, start your cambole, start your cambole. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, la 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 la. La 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 la, la 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 la.
One of the most beautiful passages of music in modern music, that ending there, that outro, that long outro of Fire Queen by David Michael Rudder. Incredible, incredible. And remember, I started off this tribute to the great late Clive Zander by saying that the phenomena of Kaiso jazz that he co-founded and co-created with Scofield Pilgrim, it was two lines of inquiry. One of them was jazz, which is this American syntax of conjugation that has to do with the American landscape and those kind of things. But the other part of it is Kaiso, and it's all those tributaries of improvisation that run within the Trinbago soul, that is there in the pan and the soloing, and is there in the rhythm section, and is there in the extempo, and it's there in that scatting that you just heard David Rudder doing for that entire long outro. All those things that come naturally to the Trinbagonian soul. All these are just chambers of Africa all over the world. Time portals, time machines and portals all over the place of transportation, all over the diaspora, that these geniuses locate and find and unearth for us. You know? And so, Krabby, this is where we're jumping back in to Zander. We started off with Ogun from that great album, Clive Zander, that kind of thing, Calypso Jazz Innovations. You just heard Rudder call Shango in Fire Queen. This is Zander taking the twin pillars of Kitch and Sparrow, who straddled the music for that period of the 50s, 60s, 70s. So these are the fellows who came just before, right? Who dominated and monopolized that kind of space and that kind of thing. We have to thank the gods for them. But all those things that we listened to earlier on were departures from them. All of them had to kind of go through Kitch and Sparrow to arrive at the things that they were experimenting with. And you could hear where they matriculated, but you could hear where they departed, And of course, the point of departure, one was the Orisha yard, the Shango Baptist yard, the Hindu music, and all these other new forms and stuff. This is Clive. going through Sparrow with Mr. Walker. Eh, Clive, boy, oh Lord, Clive. Eh, we never respected Clive Zander and gave him and Schofield their due. All the higher, them higher institutions, them institutions of higher learning, um, all blank Clive and stuff there, like when you wanted to come and lecture about what the thing is that portal that they created called Kaiso Jazz and what it meant to kind of uncover that exploration for young musicians to give them the keys to the kingdom. Them institutions are highly and say, nah, we want to hear that and stuff. I mean, me and Clive were supposed to do a full retrospective books where he did all that theory and notations on music. I know that, thank God for Tony Woodruff and them who actually notated a lot of the music and that kind of stuff. But a lot of unrecorded music we would have heard. Unreleased music we would have heard, we would have compiled all those things. And, there's a whole set of unfinished business with Clive. But hopefully, in this period to come, we could do some of that work and, consecrate him and consecrate that legacy that him and Schofield Pilgrim kind of created for us musicians and for all of us in the civilization of the diaspora in Trinidad and Tobago. We have to give Clive Zander his due. We must, and would it be the national award and all that kind of stuff posthumously. All that's one thing, but I talk about institutions created out of his name, where the music could live, the legacy could live, and youths could matriculate in it, and the nation could glory in that chamber and that machine that they created to take us further. I want to jump now, Krabby. All those who inside, we want loafers inside. I want you to hit that like button. I want you to tell us, send your comments and that kind of stuff, whether you're on the YouTube side, whether you're on the Facebook side, give us a shout out. I know you're sharing this stuff. Keep on sharing it. Keep bringing people inside. Remember, of course, this program is going to be recorded and it's there on the YouTube channel, on the Radio Toko YouTube channel. And you can play this, these 2 hours of music as you're driving in your car, as you're going about your work at office or at home, or you're just chilling and relaxing. You could play these things again and listen to these songs and listen to this commentary and listen to these, listen to the spiel and that kind of stuff and just enjoy all this stuff, all the programs from the past. This is program number 23 in this season of Indigenous. This is your home for Trinidad and Tobago underground music. We mainstream the local underground and globalize the Trinbago song. We've been doing this for 10 years, co-founded with myself and the great Sheldon Manu from the Artists Coalition of Trinidad and Tobago. Big up all the other board members, George Fortuny, Fabian Alfonso, Sean Randu, Sheldon Manu, Andre Reyes, the entire crew, Gregory Fernandez, the whole crew who changed the landscape of Trinidad and Tobago arts and stuff. All the different things that you have in place, all the enablers you have in place for the film industry, the heritage industry, all those things, the things that we put in place, all them things that you see in indigenizing and the curriculum and the spaces in Napa Sapa, all those things. Our battles made that so. That board of men who were victimized for that work and that kind of stuff, that's what we did. And one of the fruits of that stuff is this program here, Indigenous, hosted now by the great Radio Toko, the boy, Inspector, Selector, Krabby on that side. In the background, Karen X, Andre Williams, the whole crew, birthed out of the Toko Foundation, founder Michael Alves, big up the late great Michael Alves, big up all the great trade union leaders and that kind of stuff who held the line. Right, so I want to jump to the Ilan Pale. This is Ming, Michael Lau Shitong, who is another, I'm calling you a youth, Michael, another youth who's pursued, an elder youth who's pursued, the line of jazz and the inquiry and a lot of the legacies and traditions of the things that we've heard in the past, bringing together all kinds of musicians who had been discarded and all kinds of things, giving them a new space and space to flex their voices and that kind of stuff. One of the great catalogs of Trinidad and Tobago music, modern Trinidad and Tobago music, the Ilan Pale catalog of music, very much into the modern jazz, the kind of Bob James style and that kind of stuff, but also matriculating in the traditions and that kind of stuff. Remember, former keyboardist of Charlie's Roots with David Rudder, Tambu, etc., and that kind of stuff. So Ming, and now with exceptional arrangements for people like Bonnet Bigfoot and that kind of stuff. Here's Ming and Ilan Pale with just another F in jam, right? Featuring the late great Tony Voisin. We bigging up all the foundation men. Tony Voisin, rhythm guitarist for Charlie's Roots, and along with Junior Warwood, who's lead and that kind of stuff. The two guitarists of Charlie's Roots, the great, the great Strummeisters, apprentice with Fitzroy Coleman. Run the track, Krabby. Another FN jam. The lesson of Clive is to trust the process, is to trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust your innate rhythm when you're moving forward. Trust yourself to conjugate the now and arrive at the solution. So the formal language of jazz and all those kind of things are phenomenal. It created this refined, elevated language and syntax for us to explore. But we also have our own language with which to conjugate the now. That extempore, that immortal thing that wants to move and vibe in that way. We still have 2 new tunes to drop, So let me jump straight into these 2 new tunes. We have our former gang leader. Well, the name of the song is Former Gang Leader. The song is by Gary Hector and it's a new song from off his Grammy-listed album, National Trash. New track, Gary Hector, Former Gang Leader. Run the track.
Simple misunderstanding, that's how it goes. Now there ain't no use in compromising. You gotta let it go. Unnecessary finger pointing, somebody's gonna get hurt. And now you try so hard to stop the bleeding. Whatever it's worth, yeah, I got kicked out my gang and sentenced to hang for something I never done. Now I'm on the run with an unloaded gun, just waiting for the sun to go down. You think I might be overreacting, yeah, you just might be right. You see, all I need is a little distracting on this long, lonesome night. And if you ever notice me dancing with my shadow out of sight, yes, she's the only one left standing, shadow dancing all night. Yeah, I got kicked out my gang and sentenced to hang for something I never done. Now I'm on the run with an unloaded gun, just waiting for the sun to go down. Yeah, baby, come rescue me with your sleight of hand. Yeah, I got kicked out my gang and sentenced to hang for something I never done. Yeah, I'm on the run with an unloaded gun, I'm just waiting for the sun to go down. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the sun to go down. Yeah, I'm waiting for the sun to go down.
And sister, his family and friends, and all those who knew him well. The great Clive Alexander passed, the co-founder of Kaiso Jazz. And closing off program for tonight, one more new track. We've been listening. This is another Grammy-listed album, Next, by great young artist MX Prime. This is Bay.
Standing there, you're the one with class and flair. Make me jump right out of my chair. Right into me eyes you a stare, and you a glare. Whoa, my baby, you're the rose in my garden, my baby, you're the rose in my garden, baby, rose in my garden, my baby, you're the rose. You know that dress, with your perfume loud and fresh, you are the prime and the main subject. Can you tap them like never rest? Lay them to rest. Front of the line, no. Me no linger, me no waste time. I capture your heart and mind. Stars down the line. Watch out how everybody combine. Yo, come close, time to wheel out. Press me like a remote. You're amazing, girl. Blazing girl. Whoa, no joke, time to devote. This all I promise I'm out. You're amazing, girl. Whoa, my baby, you're the rose in my garden, my baby, you're the rose in my garden, baby, rose in my garden, my baby, you're the rose. Huh. Plant your flower in the garden, grow your rose in my garden. Me not tell no lie. Just you and I. Plant your flower in the garden, grow your rose in my garden. It a go get fertilized. Ha. Come close, give me your dose. I'll get you out of my stuff. You're amazing, girl. Blazing girl. Whoa, no joke. Give me your dose. I'll let you off of the ropes. You're amazing, girl. Whoa, my baby, you're the rose in my garden, my baby, you're the rose in my garden, baby, rose in my garden, my baby, you're the rose, my baby, you're the rose in my garden, my baby, you're the rose in my garden, baby, rose in my garden, my baby, you're the rose.
Remember, every single Thursday, 9 to 11, Radio Toko, live streaming on the Radio Toko Facebook page and on the Radio Toko YouTube channel, Indigenous TNT. This is your home for Trinidad and Tobago underground music, mainstreaming the Trinidad and Tobago underground, globalizing the Trinidad and Tobago song. This is what we do. We've been doing it for 10 years. This is first show for 2022. Happy New Year to everybody out there. This particular program was in tribute to the late great Titan Clive Zander. And we saying over and out. Thank you for being part of the program, listening, spread the word. Remember, it's here on the YouTube channel. You could play it anytime you want. Go back and check out the other 23 shows that have been part of this season of Indigenous. Let me just go out with Oguna, Clive Zander Ogun, that we started the program with, Krabby. And you could go out with that. Rest in peace, Clive.
little